Hey Tilda, I was just wondering how all the packing is going on back home. I know that you have our little Marie with you, so I hope that you're not stressing yourself out too much with everything we need to do. Just do what you can for now, and I'll be sure to help out when I finally get back there.
Hey there, John. Things are actually going just fine, thanks. I'm just glad that your job has finally made up their mind about relocating you. It was like we were in limbo for a while there. But anyways, I'm glad that you're finally home after being away for so long. It'll be nice to get to spend some time with just you and Marie after all this time.
Well, I just wanted to say that I really appreciate your doing all of that, although I am sorry that we're going to have to live in company housing for a while. I really didn't think that they were going to make up their minds so suddenly.
Well, I remember you first telling me that this might be happening about a year ago now, right? It's been a long time coming, if you ask me. It was really hard being so far away. I know you said you were going out to work at the company HQ on a trial basis, but then that turned into months and months. So I'm just glad that we'll all finally get to live together again.
Well, I'll be sure to say hi to your mom and all of that when I get there to help you pack.
Oh, you really are sweet, you know that? You're always thinking about my parents. I really do appreciate that.
Well, I was thinking that since it's been so long since I've been back home, it would be nice to go out and eat together sometime.
You would really want to do that while you're here? I can tell my mom and ask her what would be a good time for that.
Yeah, please do that. And make sure to let her know that even though we're going to be in company housing, it'll only be temporary.
Oh, that's fine. I mean, the pictures you sent me made it look like a fine place. It didn't seem all that old, and your company is barely charging you at all for rent, right?
Well, sure. But you know we're basically going to be living next to and around all of my coworkers, right? And that includes my boss. That is going to take some serious getting used to, I think.
Oh, that's right. You told me that most of the managers there don't live in the company housing, but the air manager likes not having to pay so much in rent.
Yeah, but anyways, it's probably just going to be a lot of single men living around us. A lot of the guys at the company are pretty young and unmarried. Typically when they do get married, that's when they move out.
But that's okay. I really don't mind where we live as long as we're getting to live together again. And besides, I would rather we take out time looking for a good place to live rather than rush it.
I agree with you there. Better to scope out the scene here and see what the market is like. Hopefully it won't take all that long though, and we can find a new place soon.
I hope so. Yeah. But since we've already signed the lease, we have a whole year to do this. I just hope that there are a few other families there and that maybe I can make friends with some of the other mothers around there.
Oh yeah, I forgot that your best friend moved pretty far away while I was out here working.
Yeah, so it really has been pretty lonely for me. I just hope that we can meet some nice people to become friends with is all. And that Marie can find some good friends her age as well. If we can do that, then I'll be happy.
Of course. I really hope that Marie doesn't hate having to live in a place like that. But I think there are a few other families and kids who live there. Maybe we can try inviting some of them over to eat.
You mean it? That would really mean a lot to me if we could try branching out and meeting new people. Maybe we can throw some kind of housewarming party or something like that to get to know the neighborhood.
Yeah, that's no problem at all. Let's see what we can figure out when we get there. I just hope that I can get off work at the usual time today is all.
I hope so too. Either way, good luck at work, John. See you soon. Hey, John, are you there? Really sorry about this, but do you mind if we have something delivered for dinner?
Oh yeah, that's no problem at all. I don't mind if we do takeout or have something brought there.
Yeah, sorry about that. Today has just been so busy, and I haven't had any time to cook at all today.
Well, don't worry about it. It's fine to eat out every now and then, right? I have no problem with that.
But the day, you know, Tom who lives near us, right?
Oh yeah. You were telling me that you were going to try hanging out with his wife soon, right?
Yeah, that's right. I was only asking because they left their son Sam at our house and asked me to keep an eye on him.
Oh really? So you're looking after their kid right now then? Do I have that right?
Yeah, that's right. Apparently, Tom's wife got really sick all of a sudden and had to go see a doctor this morning. I just happened to run into her later when she was coming back home from the doctor, and she really didn't look good at all. So I told her that if she wanted me to, I could look after Sam so that she could get some rest and try to feel better.
Tilda, you really are too nice sometimes. Do you know that? I bet that Eric's wife really appreciated that.
But just don't tell Eric that I did this for her, okay? I guess that he's kind of picky about who his kid is left with. So let's just keep this a secret, okay? And you don't need to mention any of this to his wife at all either. Got it?
Yeah, I got it. But I guess that means you're looking after 2 kids right now, right? That can't be easy. That was really nice of you to offer to do that, though.
Yeah, it isn't easy and I'm already getting pretty tired. Besides, I'm only used to dealing with a little girl and Marie is always so quiet. But Sam is just like a little ball of energy, and he gets so rough when he plays. That's actually exactly why I offered to look after him in the first place.
Oh, well, that would explain why Eric is always going on about how tired he is after playing with his son.
Well, now you know. Although he really is a cute little kid. To be honest, looking after him is kind of making me want to have a second kid.
Well, Marie is already 3 years old, so I suppose if we wanted to have a second kid, now would be the time.
But maybe we should wait until next year when we've moved out of the company housing and have a place of our own. After all, I just really don't think that I would want to deal with moving and packing and unpacking, all while being pregnant on top of that.
Oh yeah, that's a very good point. That would be a ton of stuff to juggle all at once.
So let's just try and see what we can make happen for next year. Besides, I think it would do Marie some good to have a sibling to look after. I just want Marie to come out of her shell just a little bit more so that it would be easier for her to make friends once we've moved.
Well, how is she doing with Sam? I mean, the 2 of them are there with you right now, right?
Yeah, they are, but I guess you could say that they just have different playstyles. Anyway, they're not playing together right now.
Oh, I see. Well, I guess Marie has always been more on the shy side after all. I mean, when we're together, she clings to me as if I'm about to disappear or something. It's like she doesn't want to go anywhere unless she's holding my hand or something like that. I asked her once why she didn't want to try doing more things by herself, but she never gave me an answer.
I wonder if we're not just giving her enough chances to go and meet other people. I mean, Sam's parents try and take him to the park so we can be around more kids. But even when we have tried to get her to socialize more, she just doesn't really seem to want to interact with other children.
Well, either way, just make sure to take care of Sam while he's over there with you.
Oh yeah, of course. Who knows? Maybe if I try playing with Larry, then Marie will want to play with us both. I'm sure whatever is going on with our daughter, it's just a phase.
I certainly hope so. After all, I feel like we do our best to give her enough attention and make her feel loved. But that's the thing about kids, right? You can never really know what's going on in their heads. I just hope that she doesn't feel lonely or like she needs something that we just haven't picked up on.
That's a good point. Yeah, and it really doesn't help since she's so shy as well. I really do wish that she would open up to us more often. But I'm glad that we're on the same page about this. Thanks for talking to me about this, John.
Yeah, of course. We just have to be patient with our shy daughter and give her all the time she needs to come out of her shell. But just don't blame yourself for this. After all, we're both her parents.
Thanks again, John. That really does mean a lot. Anyways, I'm going to put in our orders for dinner right now. Is there anything that you were feeling for tonight?
Nah, not really. I'm pretty open to anything. If there's anything Marie wants, let's go with that.
Sounds good then. I hope you finish up work soon enough so that you can come back home.
A few days later. Hey, John. I was just wondering if now was a good time. There's something I'd like to talk to you about. Oh, hey, Eric. Yeah, of course. What's up? How is your wife doing? I heard that she wasn't feeling so good. Oh, yeah? I'm sure that you care so much about how my wife is doing right now. You got some nerve asking that. Wait, what? Hold on. Where's all this coming from? Are you upset with me right now? Of course I am. After all, it's you and your wife's fault that my wife is sick in the first place. You have got to stop leaving your kid at my house all the time. It is seriously getting ridiculous. You are taking advantage of my wife way too much with this. If you keep this up, I just might have to say something to the company, okay? Hold on a second. I'm really confused right now. What do you mean, leaving our kid at your house? Has that been happening? Because if so, this is really the first time that I'm hearing about any of this. You mean you've really had no idea that my wife was taking care of your daughter? Well, yes, if I'm being honest. And of course it would be way too much if your wife was taking in Marie every day. But just the other day, my wife was telling me how she was watching Sam for you guys. Well, that doesn't make any sense to me at all, because I know for a fact that hasn't happened even once. Wait, what? Are you serious? But my wife said that she wanted to take Sam off your hands. She told me that she was babysitting your son until late into the evening. And I'm telling you that isn't what happened. What has been happening is that your wife has been having us look after Marie every single day. She just keeps coming over and asking my wife to take care of her since she's already watching over her own kid. And my poor wife is too reserved to tell her no. But she was always telling me that you were the one asking her to go and do this, and that you insisted it be my family since you're higher up in the company than me. Did she really say all of that? Eric, I'm so sorry about this. I don't even know where to start on any of this. Look, I really don't want to get into any of your business, but I think that your wife has been lying to you about the kind of person that she really is. And just what do you mean by that? I mean that she acts one way in front of you and a complete different way around other people. I've heard a few of the conversation our wives have together. It's usually just your wife bearing down on mine until she gives in and does whatever she wants. I am so sorry about that. I really just don't even know what to say to all of this right now. But I promise that I'll go to your house soon and apologize to your wife in person. I really had no idea that she had been looking after my daughter. I'm sorry about all of this. She pretty much comes over and does this every time that you would be out of the house. I thought it was weird enough the first time, but then she's just coming back over and over again. I really don't think that my wife can take much more of this. She's already really sick, you know. So I've heard. I really just don't know what else to say, but I'm sorry and I'm gonna try and make this right. It sounds to me like you need to talk to your wife about this first. In fact, I have a few theories about what might be going on. What do you mean by that? What kind of theories do you mean? Well, I can tell you, but I don't think that you're gonna like it one bit. It's okay. Whatever is going on, I want to get to the bottom of it right away. Besides, you guys are the ones that have been having to go through this so much. I really had no idea that any of this was going on. I really hope that you believe me when I say that. Alright then, I guess I'll tell you. I think that your wife might be seeing another man. What do you mean by that? I think you know what I mean, but think about it. Why else would she be looking for a babysitter every single day? She always leaves the building right after dropping Marie off here. Of course, I don't have any proof of what I'm saying. It's not like I've investigated this or anything, but I just can't guess what else it would be. I really am sorry to be the one to have to tell you all of this about your wife, though, but I think you might want to try looking into her. But if I don't say anything right now, then Tilda's going to keep using your wife over and over again, right? Well, my sister-in-law is going to be coming to visit us from tomorrow, so that should give you some time to look into this. I just hope that you can get to the bottom of this. But I guess it could be worse. At least Marie is really well behaved. I really had no idea things were this bad. I'm so sorry this has been going on for so long. It isn't your fault. I can tell from your reaction that you really had no idea any of this was happening. I'm sorry I threatened to take this up the chain of command. No, you were right to do that, of course. If I was in your position, I would probably do the same. So, thank you for coming to me about this before going anywhere else. I hope it's not too much to ask for a few days to look into this. That should be fine, I think. But are you feeling okay after hearing all this? I'll be fine. Now that I know what's going on, I just want to get everything out in the open and understand what's really driving all of this. 1 week later. Hey, Tilda. What are you up to right now?
Oh, hey, John. Not much at the moment. Just making some food for Marie is all.
I don't think that's what you're doing right now, actually.
And just what is that supposed to mean, huh?
I mean, that I'm at home right now. So, do you care to try and think of something else?
Okay, you caught me. I'm not actually cooking. I just went out to a restaurant is all.
Oh, yeah? And which restaurant might that be?
I, had to drive to the next town over, actually. Because of the shopping that I also have to do here. Lunch and shopping in the next town over. That's what I'm doing.
Can you please just stop lying to me, Tilda?
You're right. I'm sorry. I know that we had just food delivered the other day. I realize I might be spending a bit too much money on eating out lately.
This isn't what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the fact that you've been leaving Marie with Eric's wife for weeks now.
What? I really don't have any idea what you could mean by that at all.
It's over, Tilda. I already know everything.
I'm sorry, John. I was so tired of looking after Marie, and I had to do it on my own while you were away. I just wanted some time to myself, and that's why I was looking for someone to watch Marie.
And that's the reason why you've been leaving our daughter at someone else's house all this time?
That's right. I really am sorry about all of this.
Because I don't think it's that you just wanted to have some time to yourself is all.
Well then, what do you think has been going on here?
I mean that you're cheating on me, and I know it. I've been looking into you these past few days. You've been dropping Marie off so that you can go and be with this other man of yours. And you've even been bringing this bum into our place. What's the matter with you, huh?
No, you don't understand. It's not what you think. He's just helping me with my work is all. Because I started a job recently. It's an online job and he's just from the company trying to show me the ropes.
Oh, please. Do you really think I'm going to buy a single word of that? I have photos of you two walking around town holding hands. Not to mention plenty of other proof that you two have been doing much more than just holding hands. I want a divorce.
Wait, John. You don't get it. Please. I was just so lonely.
You know that I was going to be coming home and that we'd be together soon.
I know, but I was going to break up with this guy anyways. I really was planning to do it sometime this year.
No. Don't let me get in the way of the two of you. You can be with him for as long as you want.
Please, John, you're not listening to me. You don't get it. I really was going to end things.
And now you don't have to. Isn't that just great for you two? You know, there might have been some ways I could overlook something like this. But the fact is, you've been seeing this guy for a long time now. And you've been using my name to force Eric's wife to take care of Marie. If anything, that's what I'm most upset about. It wasn't just one lie you told me. There were several.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'll tell him that we're through right now. Just please don't say that you want to divorce me. You know that you and Marie are my whole world. I don't know what I'd do if I lost you both. I really am being honest.
I think if we really mattered all that much to you in the first place, that you wouldn't have cheated on me. And how can you say that you care about Marie when you were handing her off to someone else to watch so that you can go and betray our family? You aren't the woman I married. She was sweet, honest, and caring. She wasn't some cheating liar who manipulated everyone around here. Or was this whole thing just some elaborate joke that I was always the butt of?
It isn't like that at all. You have to believe me. I've always loved you so much.
Well, you sure do have a funny way of showing that love. You know that? Here, I thought you were really worried about Marie, telling me that you were watching her behavior, but you weren't even really with her.
I'm sorry for tricking you. I really am. It's not what I wanted to do, but I just got carried away.
Save it. This conversation is over. I've made up my mind, and you and I are through. After that, I hired a lawyer and began the divorce process. I even hired a private investigator to look further into Tilda, and he found plenty more examples of her cheating in our old hometown as well. Tilda begged me to forgive her, saying that she was just lonely, and that's why she did what she did. I refused to listen to her, and even her parents encouraged us to split up. I sued her and her partner for their infidelity, and then asked my company to give her an eviction notice from the unit. Tilda couldn't even go back to her parents since they refused to host her. I have no idea what she's doing now, and I really don't care. After our last text conversation, I apologized in person to Eric and his wife for all that Tilda had done. They were very kind and forgave me. It actually turned out that Marie and Sam get along really well. I was so glad that at least my daughter had gained a friend after all of this. As for me, it's tough getting used to the single father life, but I have to say that my job has been very supportive, and I'm learning to make things work.
Josh, I'm sorry. Do you mind going out to get May for me today?
Huh? But today's supposed to be your day to get her.
I'm sorry. I just have to go to a dinner today that I'm not able to skip out on to come home. Even my boss is telling me that I have to come or I'll lose my job. And so I said yes to going. I don't think he was being serious about it, but...
Are you kidding me? I already have plans of my own going on this afternoon with friends of mine.
Can you find some way to tell your friends that you have to go and get your daughter because I need to work late?
I guess so. I'll figure something out. I guess I have no choice to help avoid causing more trouble at her preschool again.
I'm so sorry. Thank you, Josh. I have a lot on my plate right now that the company is trusting me with. And this dinner tonight, I have to be there in order to make a good impression. It's for a new deal that the company is trying to make, and if I can help seal said deal, then I'll be promised a large bonus.
Well, if your boss is threatening your job over it, and you're also expected to get a bonus for doing it, I guess I can't really ask you to do anything else. But next time this happens, please tell me a little sooner, okay? Last week I ended up having to go every day to get May from her school. Actually, if you're going to be busy for a little while with work, how about I just plan on getting her every day?
Having you get her every day is a bit too far, right? I can't ask you to do that.
But if you keep doing what you've done today, it's much more of a pain in the butt for me. So I'd rather just handle her for a bit now so that you can just focus on work.
I'm fine though. I'll make sure that at least 2 times a week I'll be there to go and get her. I mean, time with May has already been dwindling, so I can't just let you take care of her forever. It's not good for her to grow up with only you around, right?
But when you're that busy, you shouldn't push yourself to be around her. The company I'm at is actually pretty lax, so I can do things like this any day. They even let me work from home half the time.
You don't have to worry yourself with her all the time, though. Allow me to go and at least get her twice a week. If not, your mom might start asking me to quit my job in order to be around May more.
Huh? My mom would do that? Why would she?
Well, recently when we met for the 4th of July, she asked me if I've really been keeping up with the chores in the house and raising my kid.
I don't think she meant anything deep by that question. My mom is not the kind of person to tell you that you can't work while I'm also working. If anything, I think she supports you working as well as me.
And that's because she's your mother. But she treats me a whole lot different than how she acts around you. After all, your mom has always been a housewife, right? So I think she expects me to do the same for you and May and leave my job for the home.
You think so? I'm sorry. But I don't really think my mom is the kind of woman who would care about you working or not.
I get that that's the picture you have of her in your head, but I promise you that she's thinking of it every time she talks to me.
But she hasn't made any comments about you and your job yet, right?
That's because she's trying not to upset me yet. She's probably had her moments where she's really wanted to say something about me but held it in. She's not the kind to tell someone straight, but I know that she's feeling a bit frustrated by me.
You really think that? Well, I never noticed her acting that way.
It's fine. I just want you to understand what I'm seeing from her, okay? When it comes to one of my friend's husbands, he went to his mom and asked her not to say anything to his wife, and she ended up never saying anything again. If you were to say anything about this to your mom, I'd probably divorce you.
I don't think you have to. I'm sure that he was just doing that so his wife could calm down.
Right? Well, I'm glad you won't do anything unwarranted like that to me, though, so thank you.
Are you sure you don't want me to tell my mom? I mean, it wouldn't cause you any harm for me to at least warn my mom, right?
Don't do that. I've been doing good so far keeping things from getting out of hand. I already told you that I'd leave you if you did that, right? Because it would only make things worse between us. You don't want to ruin the relationships in this family, right?
Well, yeah. Sorry about that. But I feel like just bearing something like this all your life might be pretty risky as well. So if you want me to talk to her about it ever, let me know, please.
I will. Thank you, Josh. I need to get back to work here soon. I guess, have a safe drive to go get May today.
Sure thing. You'll be out for dinner tonight, so I can't expect you won't be home until later, right?
That's right. You can even head to bed before me if you want.
Understood. Well, good luck today. Trisha, are you at the hotel now?
Yep, we just finished the dinner and made it back to my room. I'm so worn out after that.
Well, they made you go on a business trip without even consulting you first. May is already asleep now.
That's right, it's already close to 10 now. I'm sorry. I was really wanting to finish that dinner a lot sooner so that you could have a video call with me. But at the start of dinner, they brought another customer along, and so it went an hour longer.
That's too bad. I'm sure it already sucks having to be on that trip and everything without an earlier notice. But just know that when you get back, you can have lots of time to play with May. I feel that you and May haven't had a lot of time to play recently, so it'll be refreshing for the two of you.
That's so right. I feel so bad for doing that to her. At this point, if your mom is to say something about me, I'd have nothing to reply back to her with.
Huh? Has my mom been saying things to you again recently?
Yeah. But you don't have to worry about saying anything to her about it, okay?
What did she say to you this time, though?
Things about raising May and things to do with getting the chores done. She's always on me about that stuff, though, so you don't have to worry. But it really does make me feel bad about my situation with May. Feeling that kind of stress now really hurts in a way.
I'm really sorry about that. Are you really going to be okay? I can tell her to stop saying things about that to you. But are you really sure you want to keep going on without her stopping that? It has to be mentally tiresome for you, right?
No worries, really. Whether she talks to me about it or not, she's telling the truth. So I'm better off just letting her say what she has to say and then moving on. And after this week is over, I'll have a bit more time on my hands to spend with May, so don't worry at all.
Sure, sounds good. But listen, next week is Mother's Day. I was planning on all of us going to see my mom then, but we should probably just not do that, right?
You don't have to say no to going. She'll think something's up if we all cancel those plans now. But do you think this time I can just stay home while you and May go? I've been pretty busy recently, and I just don't have the energy to see her next week.
Alright, then I guess it's just May and I going. It's your day off after all, so take all the time you need to relax, okay?
Thank you, Josh. I'll make a present together with May to give your mom, okay?
What are you planning to make for her this year? Last year you made a decorated picture frame with all of our pictures in it, right?
I haven't made up my mind yet on that. When I'm back from this trip, I'll get together with May and decide.
Okay. I'll buy something for her later from myself then.
Sure, that would be great. Now I'm gonna get a shower in before I head to bed.
Sounds good. Have a great night, and good luck with work tomorrow. Mom, thank you for today. And May is telling me that she had a great time seeing you after so long. I know it's Mother's Day, but thank you for making all the food for us.
Oh, you don't have to be thankful for that. May was asking me to make her something to eat, so that's what I did. But when it comes to that present, I'm a bit concerned.
Are you talking about the new kitchen knife I got for you? Is it not the kind you like to use? You told me before that you wanted a really good kitchen knife, right?
I'm not talking about that. I had to throw away that gift from your daughter. I know it might be a joke, but it was a bad one.
You threw away the present May gave to you? Huh? Mom, what the heck? May worked so hard making that present for you. Why the heck did you choose to throw it out? You were so happy when she handed it to you, right?
Can you come back to my house, please? When you see what I was looking at, you'd think the same thing as me.
See what you saw? The present that May gave to you were cookies, right?
Well, when the two of you left, I was cleaning things up and I took a bit off of one of those cookies from May. And when I took a bite, there were peanuts on the inside of them.
What? You have a peanut allergy, right, Mom? Are you alright right now?
Well, had I gone and eaten them all, I wouldn't be. But I only took a bite of one, and that just made my face swell up a bit and go red. I'm happy I had my steroids on me to take right after, or else I'd be in an ambulance right now. I'm not sure if all the medication will make it go away, so the next day I have open, I'm going to the clinic.
I'm sorry.
Josh, I'm sorry, but this time was unacceptable. You understand why, right? The person that is responsible for doing this to me must be...
Trisha, right? She made those cookies with May.
You leave her right now.
Now, wait a second. Well, she really did mess up this time. Something that nobody should ever want to do. After all, this time there was a real chance of you dying because of what she made for you.
Trisha knows better than anyone else that my allergy to peanuts is really, really bad, right? Before, at that restaurant where we all had dinner together, she saw me pass out due to not being able to breathe.
Yeah, but listen, Mom, the way you want me to handle this just isn't right. I'm not quite sure yet that she did all of this on purpose to you. Or at least, she may have had a reason for it.
No matter how hard you try and look at this, you have to see that she is the one to blame.
But listen, Mom, for a long time now you've been saying a lot of things to her that may have been really upsetting her. Asking her about doing all the chores at home and caring for May. I think she wasn't happy to hear all of that from you over and over again. That's why I think it all got to her, and that's why she did this.
Josh, I've never asked you anything about raising May and whether or not she's doing the chores. And even if I had been, it wasn't out of malice towards her. I'm sorry. There is actually something I haven't been telling you about.
Something you haven't been telling me about?
About your wife. She's been... well, Trisha's been cheating on you. That's kind of why, above all else, you really need to leave her. And after today, she really needs to go, sooner rather than later. I never thought she'd take it all this far to try and get rid of me.
You're telling me Trisha is cheating on me? Can you stop with that dry joke, Mom? I get that you're my mom and all, but a joke like that would piss me off.
Why would I ever joke with you about something like this? Is Tricia even at the house with you right now?
No, she has something going on for a little longer before she has to come home.
Then can you grab May and come back over to my house one more time? I'll have her be watched over by someone I trust in the neighborhood while we go out. I want to tell and show you everything. Josh, was your mom all right?
She's doing a little better than she was yesterday, but her lips and eyes are still a bit swollen.
I see. To think that May would put those peanuts she bought into the cookies. I really should have done a better job watching what she was doing there. Are you going to be staying over at your mom's house now to watch after her? Oh, I'm sorry. It's because of us that you have to stay there. I should probably go over there to apologize to her as well, huh?
You don't have to bother with coming to her house anymore.
Oh, I knew it. Your mom is pissed at me.
Well, she's not the only one upset with you. I'm not in the mood to forgive you either.
What do you mean you're not in the mood to forgive me? Do you think I did all of that on purpose or something?
That's the only thing we can think happened.
I seriously didn't know a thing about the peanuts. I made sure that May didn't use anything sharp while making those cookies like knives. And while she was mixing them together, I must have had my eyes off of her.
The peanuts that were in these cookies were very well chopped, though. And when looking at the cookies, you couldn't even tell there were peanuts in them, because they weren't mixed in, but placed inside. When I broke another one of those cookies in half, those peanuts looked like they were placed very delicately in the center, as so nobody could see them. You expect us to believe that our 5-year-old daughter could do something like that?
I have no idea. Couldn't this just be a coincidence? I never even used any peanuts in the recipe.
You did all of this because you know my mom is aware of you cheating on me, right?
Did you hear about all of this from your mom?
Yeah.
Ugh, crap. Listen, Josh, your mom is just saying that I'm the one that did it out of spite. She must have seen me when I was walking alongside another man and thought I was going out with him or something. She's made that lie up saying I'm dating him or something when I'm not. At the time she saw me, I was working and everything. She just didn't know the man I was next to, and that's why she wouldn't believe me when I said he was a coworker.
Are you really trying to tell me that you haven't been cheating on me?
Yes, I am. And if you won't believe me, I'll get my coworker to come and vouch for me as well. He would be more than happy to help clear things up for me.
Who is that coworker you're talking about?
His name is Samuel Richardson.
I see. Trisha, I want a divorce.
Huh? Why? Are you seriously going to only believe what your mother is saying?
I am.
I've been telling you that your mom doesn't even have any evidence of it. She's just trying to drive the both of us apart is all. Why are you still listening to her when I'm telling you Samuel can come and vouch for me? You're my husband, and you should be on your wife's side in all of this, right?
But we do have evidence of you cheating.
What?
My mom asked you back then to stop what you were doing and just come back to me, and she'd never say a word about it, right? We have a little girl at home and all, and she knew that I really loved you and that you meant the world to me. She was going to let it all go had you just stopped cheating on me then, right?
But your mom ended up telling you just a little while ago that I've been cheating on you.
And that's because you didn't stop, Trisha. The first time my mom only witnessed the two of you, and so she couldn't get any evidence of it. But she wanted to make sure that you were no longer going out with that man, and so she asked a private detective to follow you.
She got a detective to come after me?
My mom is the kind of woman that always wants to make 100% sure everything is fine. And had you just stopped cheating, none of this would have had to happen. The fact that you have the nerve to continue cheating on me even after my mom warned you is what gets me off. And you put those peanuts in her cookies thinking that she wouldn't have any evidence of you continuing to cheat on me, right? You've been trying for a while now to get me to distance myself from my mom, right? That's the whole reason you've always been crying about how she's been picking on you and such, right?
Josh, you're wrong. I haven't been cheating.
You and that Samuel Richardson have slept together a few times already, right? And as for that business trip you were just on, it was really a vacation that the two of you took together. You literally went out on a vacation to have sex with him. So stop trying to say you weren't ever cheating on me. I've seen all the evidence of this, and you're done for, Trisha. So you can keep saying that you haven't been cheating on me, but I'll never trust your words again.
I was on that trip for work, though, and to make sure that I did really well at my job, I needed to have my coworker with me to help. Samuel tends to have a really good way with words, and he took really good care of me at work.
So you're saying that anyone that takes good care of you at work is worth sleeping with? Well, I guess that's what you mean by care then, huh?
That's not what I mean. As a woman, the only way to move up in this company is to do what's necessary. Everyone in this company is still really low down that's a woman. And since I could use him to get up, I had to do what it took.
Then you wouldn't mind me going into the company and asking them what position you're in at the moment. You really put in a lot of effort to make sure that you get all your work done and look good for promotion, right? I think I'll head over tomorrow to ask your boss about you. I want him to tell me that you are working so hard for that promotion, that you're even putting your body out there.
I'm sorry. Please do not do that, though.
So are you going to confess to all this being a lie on your end?
Yes?
That's what I thought. I've already heard about how you rarely ever get any of your work done in the company. You just sit there at your desk looking at your phone or going over to see Samuel, right? And when work begins to become hectic, you leave instead of supporting the team. And when you have the time to go get May from preschool, you make up a lie forcing me to go, so that you have time to go to Samuel's house and cook for him. And when my mom found out about you, you tried to silence her in order to keep your affairs a secret from me. You are the worst wife ever.
I'm sorry. I promise that I'll stop cheating on you now.
You don't have to stop. I'm the one that'll be divorcing you anyway. And what you do will have nothing to do with me after.
I don't want a divorce. I don't want you to leave me.
Why not?
Because you and May are important to me.
If we were really important to you, then you would have never slept with him. If you had a bit of sense in you, you would have listened to my mom when she told you to stop.
I won't cheat anymore, though. I promise to never ever stab you in the back again. None of it was serious between us. And we never had any plans to keep all of this going on forever. And we were already in the talks of breaking things off and everything.
But you kept it going until I had to find out. And even went as far as to try to make my mom eat peanuts, when she's deathly allergic to them. I'm sorry, Trisha, but I don't need people around me that think it's okay to hurt their own family like you have.
I will apologize to your mom. I will do whatever you ask me to do to get you to forgive me.
This is not something you can fix with an apology, you idiot. You're messed up. You could have killed my mom with what you did, and you probably really hoped that would have been the outcome, right? And trying to blame that on your own daughter. That's the worst part of all of this.
I'm so sorry, Josh. I'm so very sorry.
You can apologize all you want, but my heart has already changed. A mom that doesn't care to be with her own daughter, so that she can sleep with another man. Giving her mother-in-law peanuts, even though she could die from eating them. I don't need someone like you in my life. None of us do. So you can go ahead and cheat or do whatever you want with that guy. Because we no longer have anything to do with a witch that thinks cheating and saying bad things about her mother-in-law is okay. I continued to have talks with Trisha, and then about a month after, we finally got a divorce. When it came to the custody of my daughter, it was all given to me by the judge based off the evidence of Trisha both cheating on me and not showing any actual want for May to be her daughter. When May was asked by the judge whether she wanted Trisha to stay, even she said that she didn't really care where she went, which pretty much sealed the deal. And as for the settlement to me for cheating, and the settlement to my mom for trying to kill her, Trisha was forced to use almost everything she had saved up. Before the divorce, she tried to battle my choice to get that settlement from her, but I told her I could bring all of this up to her boss instead if that would be better, and that got her to shut up really quick. And when it came to the settlement for my mom, that one had to be settled in court. My mom originally wanted Trisha to end up in jail or something for what she had done to my mom, but then the judge ruled that she would instead have to pay for all of my mom's medical bills, as well as for causing the trouble she had. This led to her having to actually pay an even larger settlement to my mom than to me, and this was what really ruined Trisha's bank account. Along with that, she was kicked out of the house and didn't even say a word to me as she walked out. After leaving my house, she went back to Samuel's house to try and seek help there, but he told her that he had no desires of making her his wife. And it wasn't just him telling her he didn't want her, but within the company itself a rumor began to spread about the two of them having an affair, and that forced Trisha to go back to her parents' house. She would receive a call from her boss later on, stating that she had lost her job due to never showing back up to work, but for also having affairs with another employee within the company. I received a call from her parents apologizing for what she'd done, and they had told me that she had actually locked herself in her old bedroom and would rarely come out. I'm kind of wondering why she would be all upset and depressed about this when she was the one that chose her path. But as long as she's nowhere near me and my family, I don't care how things turn out for her. I think it's better that she stays in that room forever anyway. so that she can be filled with thoughts of regret about what she did. I was so shocked when I heard about all this from my mom on that day. I was kind of in the same state as Trisha is now at first, since my brain freezes up and shuts down due to all the shocking information. But unlike her, I know that I'm not the one to blame, and that I still have my family here with me, and my job. I was really worried about getting a divorce as well, and would always think about if it was right or not to want such a thing. I never had to think about what was the best choice for my daughter, but as of now, I know that divorce was the best option we had. I sold our house a little while after, and moved back in with my mom, where May is actually really happy to be with her grandma all the time. I can understand my daughter being a little hurt right now about losing her mom and everything, but I'll make sure with the help of my mother that she forgets all of those memories of her mom. And to do that, my mom and I are going to love her more than she's ever been loved before. Thank you.
You really have some nerve. Do you know that? I mean, really, where do you get off?
Wait, what? Tim, what is all this about? Where is this coming from?
I'm talking about the yogurt that I have every morning. You know that I eat it before going to work, so why wasn't there any in the fridge this morning? Huh?
Oh, did we run out of yogurt again? I'm sorry, I really didn't notice that at all.
Well, then you should have checked that yesterday so you could have bought more. Honestly, you have got to be the most useless housewife.
I am really sorry about the mix-up, Tim. I thought I bought enough to last just a little longer. But I guess you went through it faster than I thought you were going to.
And just when was the last time that you went out to even buy yogurt, huh?
Well, that would have been about 4 days ago, I think.
You should be checking the fridge every single day to make sure that I have enough in there. If I don't have my yogurt in the morning, I seriously start to go crazy. You know this.
I know. You're right. It was a mistake that won't happen again. I'll buy some more after I get back home from work.
And I guess I'm just expected to get through the rest of my day without any yogurt. Just make sure that you remember to get some on the way back home. Okay?
Of course. I promise that I won't forget this time. But by the way, it's almost noon. But are you at home right now? I thought that you had to work today, no?
Yeah. I'm actually just about to head out of the office right now. I just took some time off this morning to take care of some stuff.
Oh, I see. You were telling me that you had a bunch of time off saved up, and they were telling you to use some.
Yeah, well, there just hasn't been a good chance for me to take a lot of time off at once.
It sounds like things have been really busy at work for a while then.
Well, the whole food industry is feeling the crunch of not enough workers. I mean, if I wasn't there, I think things would really just grind to a halt. So that's why I haven't taken any time off in a long time, and have just been building it all up instead.
Wow. Well, that sounds really rough on you. I'm glad you were able to take some time off this morning then.
Of course it's rough. It's just horrible. And that's why if I don't have my yogurt every single morning, it gets even tougher. I mean, I really just can hardly concentrate on my work if I don't have it. And we're really busy and need all hands on deck right now.
But you said that you were going to quit soon, right? Are you still thinking of doing that?
Well, of course I'm still going to quit my job. I've already talked to my boss about it and they were understanding enough. I mean, you know that it's always been my dream to have my own shop, and I've already been thinking about how I want to have it set up. Once I have it up and running, I'm going to have the best shop in town.
Oh, I see. Well, I guess if your work already knows that this is something you're going to do, then you must be serious about it.
That's right. I'm going to quit my job sometime next year, and in the meantime, I'll be making all the preparations for my business. And that's why I need you to help me when I need it. You can't always be holding me back, you know?
Right. I'm sorry if that's what I've been doing, but I'll try and be more careful.
You really better, because this is just getting a little ridiculous. I mean, if I don't even have a wife I can count on to buy groceries, then what's the point? What in the world were your parents even teaching you when you were growing up that you ended up like this, huh? Maybe I should be talking to them about all of this and not you.
I don't see how my parents have anything to do with any of this, Tim.
Well, if you don't want me to bring them into this, then you need to start doing better and buy things properly next time. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have to go out and get back to work.
Okay. Good luck with your work today, Tim. Let me know if there's anything else you need from me.
Okay, seriously. What is your problem, huh? Are you just trying to sabotage me or something like that?
What do you mean? What are you talking about this time, Tim?
You know what you've done. So don't pretend like you don't know. Where are you right now? Huh?
I'm on my way to my friend's wedding right now. We talked about this morning.
And just who do you think is gonna lay out my clothing that I'm gonna wear for tomorrow? Huh?
Oh, shoot. I'm really sorry, Tim. I totally forgot. Do you think you could just do it for yourself today?
And just why in the world do you think that I should have to do something like that myself? Huh? This is all your job, and you're having me run around doing it as if I was the wife.
But it's just taking out clothes that you're going to wear tomorrow. Surely you can at least do that, right? It isn't that hard.
You really just don't get it at all, do you? It's not just this. You're making me do everything around here.
Well, I do feel bad that I forgot to do that before heading out for the day, but I think that you should be able to handle it. I mean, there's nothing else around the house that I haven't already cleaned or taken care of, right? I just forgot to take out your clothes is all. Surely you should be able to do that all by yourself though, right?
You are just full of excuses today, aren't you? We agreed to split the work around the house, and you're not holding up your end of the bargain. Honestly, you're completely useless. Do you know that?
I said that I was sorry, Tim, but I don't think there's any need to get this upset at me right now.
Oh, and so now you're going to try and tell me how upset I should be with you, huh? I know that your parents did a lousy job of raising you, but I guess I shouldn't be surprised. When you have parents like that, you're bound to come out like them. Garbage can only make one thing, and that's more garbage.
Tim, why do you think that my parents are such horrible people? Where did that idea even come from?
It's true, isn't it? Your dad's company had a huge downsizing, and he ended up becoming a taxi driver. Your whole family is just a bunch of nobodies.
That's not true, Tim. My dad worked hard all his life to raise me and take care of me, and I really don't appreciate the way that you're talking about him.
Well then, don't even get me started on your mom. Isn't it true that she didn't even finish high school? I guess that must be where you get your brains from then, huh? I really should have known what I was getting into when I met your parents for the first time.
Tim, you're taking this all out of context. I told you that my mom had to drop out of school to take care of her family. But you know that she's an avid reader and knows a lot about many different topics. She's actually really smart.
I doubt it. Or else you wouldn't have been dumb enough to marry your poor loser father. I knew that I should have talked to them about my issues with you. After all, it's all their fault that you ended up the way you are.
Okay, Tim, look. If you want to insult me, that's fine. But please, don't insult my parents, okay? Besides, we live so far away from them, so how in the world is reaching out to them going to fix any of this?
I don't care if they lived on another continent. The fact of the matter is the parents need to know when they failed to raise their child well. And that's why I have to talk to your idiot parents about their idiot daughter. You may not understand, but that really doesn't surprise me at all.
You really do think that I'm an idiot, don't you? You just think that whatever you say is the truth, right? Well, okay, fine then. Go talk to my parents for all the good that it does you.
Oh, I intend to. After all, I know there's really nothing they can do to me. I'm the one with all the power here. What is the matter with you? Why are my clothes the only ones that haven't been washed, huh? How many times are we gonna have to talk about this until you finally get it, huh? How are you still so useless after all this time? I really just don't even know what to do with you. Maybe I ought to call your mom and make her do my laundry for you.
Oh, just shut up already, you little brat. The only mother around here who needs to set her child straight is me.
Wait, what? What is this? Why are you talking to me like that? What's going on?
You mean you can't guess who I am with that message? It's me, Tim, your mom. And you have been a horrible husband, which means that I have done a terrible job raising you.
Wait, Mom? Is that really you? Just give the phone back to Sarah and let me talk to her. And just why are you two even together in the first place, huh?
Well, that's because Sarah reached out to talk to me. She told me all about how you act as if you're always right.
Wait a second. You have to hear me out, Mom. The truth is that Sarah's just a horribly useless wife. I know that if you heard my side of the story, then you would understand why I'm always so upset with her.
The only useless one around here is you, Tim. You both have jobs. She isn't a housewife, and even if she was, you still shouldn't be treating her this way. But since you are both working, the least you could do is help out around the house now and then. But instead, you just put all the work on Sarah to do by herself.
Mom, you don't get it. We have a system set up to split the work, okay? I have my duties, and Sarah has her duties.
Oh, really? Because it sounds to me like for someone who works just as many hours as you, that Sarah also seems to be doing the bulk of the housework. And I understand that you refuse to help her if it's not something you think is your job to do. But the fact of the matter is that you're both married, and so you both need to be supporting each other. Because the way I see things, it's clear that Sarah is much more capable than you are at taking care of herself.
But Mom, I don't get it. Why are you taking Sarah's side in this?
Now, I'm not taking her side, but I'm letting you know that you're doing nothing but holding her back. She even told me about how you yelled at her for not leaving your clothes out for the next day. How old are you, Tim? Can you really not even figure out how to do that by yourself? I thought I raised a man, not a giant helpless baby.
That isn't fair, Mom. It's not that I can't handle the work. It's just that I was warning Sarah that she forgot to do one of her jobs. Besides, I'm always really busy with work, so I hardly have any time at all to take care of myself and do things for me. Sarah's there to help me.
You really are sad, do you know that? But I suppose this means that you've broken your promise, and I need to scrap all of this.
Promise? Scrap all of this? Mom, what are you even talking about?
I mean that I'm your mom, and I need to take responsibility for my child.
But I still don't get what you're talking about. What promise are you referring to?
Now that I know exactly the way you've been treating your wife, I realize that I have no reason to spoil you anymore. I'm afraid that you'll just have to get money for your store from somewhere else. I'm withdrawing my investment.
Wait, Mom, hold on. You can't do that. I don't have any other investors but you. Please, one thing has nothing to do with the other. You have to let me hold on to your money.
Of course, how you treat your wife and my investment have to do with each other. After all, it was Sarah who came to me and convinced me to invest in the first place. So how about you go and apologize to Sarah for all that you've done to her? And if she forgives you, then I won't withdraw my investment. But if she doesn't, not only am I taking my money back, but I am never going to give you another penny as long as I live.
You mean you really want me to go and apologize to Sarah over all of this?
You were the one who was always putting her down and saying horrible things to her. Not only that, but she even told me that you insulted her parents as well.
I wasn't trying to insult anyone. I was just joking around is all. I promise.
I really don't care what excuse you have for it. You shouldn't have been doing it in the first place. Now you need to go and talk to Sarah about this, because until she tells me otherwise, you're not going to be getting any money from me.
Hey, Sarah, I take it that you were reading all of these messages, right? Well, if you'd let me, I would like to apologize for everything that I've done and said to you up to now.
Hello, Tim. I've gotten my phone back from your mom. You can start apologizing whenever you're ready.
Okay, then. I'm really sorry that I looked down on you and insulted your parents, and I would like to apologize for both of them. I promise to be more careful with my words from now on. So, if you would find it in your heart, I would really like it if you could forgive me.
Wow. I really didn't think that I would see the day when you finally decided to apologize to me. You must really be desperate for your mom's money, huh?
No, it's not that. I promise. I want you to know that I've really thought hard about what I did, and I really am sorry. I mean that from the bottom of my heart.
Well, I'm sorry, but I still don't feel like forgiving you for anything. So while I accept your apology, I don't forgive you, and that's that.
Oh, come on. Give me a break here. I'm trying to give you a genuine apology here.
That's just it, Tim. I really don't think it's genuine at all. I think that you just want your mom's money, and that's why you're doing this. That's also why I just can't forgive you. You're not actually doing it for me.
Sarah, you don't get it. If you don't forgive me, then I'm not going to be able to open up my store like I always wanted to. I don't care whether or not you really forgive me. Just say that you do, so I can show that to my mom.
That makes me want to say that even less, though. I don't care if it means you can't have your store. In fact, it feels rather good to be the one in control now, if I do say so myself.
Sarah, this isn't a game. I've been working towards this dream for years and years and years now.
And I'm telling you that I don't really care at all about your dream of whether it comes true or not. I am not going to forgive you, and that is that. Actually, that's not that. I also want a divorce, and I plan on suing you as well.
Hold on a second. You're gonna sue me? On what grounds? You can't do that.
And why not? You've been abusive with all your horrible language and ways that you've treated me. You really don't think that a court is going to recognize the psychological damage that you've caused me? I'm already talking to a lawyer about this, and he says that we should have no problem with the divorce or the lawsuit.
But my dream to own my own shop. You're gonna take it away from me forever if you do this.
I suppose I am going to do that, aren't I? I guess that means that you should probably just give it up. After all, you only had one investor anyways. It doesn't seem like anyone else believes in your dream but you.
You really think you can talk to me this way just because you tricked my mom into being on your side? I can always find other investors. I don't need her. I don't need anyone.
And just where do you think you're going to find anyone who wants to invest in your shop, huh?
I know there have got to be people out there. I won't just sit here and let you treat me like this. I'll show you that you're not good enough to stop me. Sarah, please. You have to forgive me for what I did. I'm begging you. I'm gonna keep saying I'm sorry however long it takes for you to do so.
Excuse me? Where is this coming from all of a sudden? I thought you were going to find other investors.
I know. And I asked around to all of my relatives and they all turned me down.
Ah, well, I know that if you just keep on looking that you'll be able to find some. Don't worry. Don't tell me that you're already running out of hope for yourself.
Please, I know that my mom is behind this. She had to be the one telling everyone else to tell me no.
Well, she did say that she was going to take responsibility for her child, didn't she?
You don't think she meant that she would do something like this, did you? Please, haven't you two already knocked me down enough?
I'm sorry, Tim, but you said yourself that it's up to the parents to take responsibility for their misbehaving children. Your mom is only doing what she thinks is right by punishing you for being a bad boy.
But I didn't even do anything. Please, you two are taking this way too far. This isn't even about us anymore. This is just you wanting to destroy my dream.
Well, of course. A punishment without any real consequences just wouldn't make any sense at all, would it? Besides, insisting on crushing your dream to own your own store was your mom's idea.
But she was the one who said that she would invest in this idea in the first place.
Well, I suppose that she had second thoughts after I told her about how you were treating me. She had no idea that her own son was capable of such cruelty. I suppose it's all she needed to see to know that you couldn't really run your own business way.
How is that even proof that I wouldn't be able to run my own business? Just because I was mean to you, that's the whole reason why?
It wasn't just that. It was also the fact that your mom realized that you were incapable of taking care of yourself. Not only that, but I told her the truth about why you actually left your work. I told her about how you treated all your coworkers poorly too. You weren't just leaving your work to open up your own place. You were leaving because everyone hates how you treat them.
That isn't true. I just have to tell everyone how to do their jobs because I know what's best for the business. My mom can't just guess all that from what you told her.
Well, I wasn't the only one telling her. It was your own coworkers who told her about how you treated them. You remember that time you sent me to your office to pick up some things that you forgot? Yes? Well, when I went to go and pick it up, I overheard some of the staff complaining about you. They were all talking about how they couldn't wait for you to quit so that they could finally get on with their work in peace.
Shut up! That isn't true! That can't be true at all! They're the useless ones, not me. Without me, that place is going to fall apart. They'll see.
I really don't think the situation is quite as dire as you think, Tim. In fact, it seems like a lot of the business's trouble was coming from the way you treated your coworkers. You don't have a single friend there.
That can't be right. Surely there's got to be a single person there with one good thing to say about me.
If that was really true, then surely one of them would have invested in your store or asked to go and work for you, right? But the only person who you could get any money from was your mom, and even she decided against it. No, you have no one left who you can borrow from. You're through, and it's all your fault.
No! This can't be happening to me. You completely ruined everything. I was so close. I was going to finally have my store, and it wasn't going to hurt anyone.
Except for me, when you start to dump store duties on me, not to mention whoever it is that would have been unlucky enough to work for you. But now that everyone knows just the kind of person that you really are, you are never going to run any business of your own. After all, you can't even keep the house clean without me. Just how did you think you were going to run a whole business?
Please, Sarah, you have to forgive me. You're right. My mom is the only one person I can turn to now, and that's why I need you to convince her to invest in me again. I'm begging you.
For the last time, it's just not going to happen, Tim. You need to accept and just move on. Well, move on after our divorce and lawsuit, that is. After that, I really don't care at all what you do with your life. Just leave me out of it. After that, Tim went to the bank and begged them for a small business loan. But while explaining to the teller that he was at the bank because his attempt at crowdfunding failed and that Tim no longer had a job, the bank realized it was bad investment and turned him down. Later, Tim received a letter from my lawyer inviting him to a discussion over the terms of our divorce. I decided to pursue getting paid through alimony rather than a lawsuit, as my lawyer thought we had a higher chance of winning that way. In the end, Tim owed me so much that he was forced to take a loan in order to pay everything. But I really didn't have any pity for him at all. After all, it was his terrible personality that drove him away from his job, and it was his horrible treatment of me that drove me to his mom. Finally, though, it was his mom who had to step in and set her son straight. A few weeks later, I heard that Tim was arrested for fraud in pursuit of his store. He begged his mom for help, but she refused and decided to disinherit him instead. Now I hear that he lives in a tiny apartment working the multiple part-time jobs that he had to find in order to keep himself afloat financially. Thankfully, however, I haven't heard a word from Tim since our divorce. It won't be easy putting myself back out there, but I won't ever let a man treat me the way Tim did again.
Hey there, Tony. I was just wondering if you were still away at the hardware store? Are you still not done doing everything that you had to? Just how long is this going to take?
I'm really sorry, Trish. The traffic has just been absolutely terrible. I literally just got to the store right now. But is everything okay? Do you need me to pick anything up for you?
Well, actually, since you asked, I think we do need more light bulbs for our foyer and other places around the house. I forgot to get extras last time, and now I think it's dead, so if you could get something for at least the foyer, that would be great.
Sure thing. I will be sure to do that.
Thank you, I really appreciate it. Otherwise, I don't really think that there's anything you need to get for me.
Okay then. Sounds good to me. By the way, I meant to tell you that I ran into our neighbor in the hall earlier today. The one who lives just a few doors down. Him and I just chatted a little this morning.
Oh, right. Are you talking about that guy who lives in his apartment by himself? That kind of young-looking guy? Is that the one that you're talking about?
Yup, that's the one. Do you think he lives alone? I've seen him with some girl before and I wasn't sure if they lived together.
Oh, I see. I didn't know that. But I'll see him sometimes around lunchtime walking around here. I wonder what that guy does for a living. I've actually wondered about that every time I see him. But anyways, what did the two of you talk about?
I was just asking him about his life a little. He told me that he works from home doing some kind of programming job, I guess. It basically sounded like he's a freelance, so his work schedule is just a little weird.
Well, that is a relief, at least. For a while, I was wondering if he was unemployed or super rich or something like that.
Well, either way, making that many assumptions about someone's life is kind of rude, don't you think?
I guess you're right. I probably shouldn't be thinking of others like that. But it's just that I see him almost every afternoon coming in and out, so you can't really blame me for making up stories in my head.
I suppose not. I guess I just didn't realize you enjoyed people watching so much is all. But, yeah, he was telling me that he actually gets up early to fish and comes back home in the afternoon. The whole reason I even said anything to him in the hallway was because I saw that he had a fishing rod.
Oh boy, well, I'm sure that you two got along just great during your little talk then, didn't you?
Pretty much, yeah. We talked a bit about fishing, and I think it was pretty easy to move to different topics from there. Then he opened up the cooler that he had with him to show me what he caught, and that was this huge tuna. I don't even know how he fit that in there.
Oh, really? He was out fishing tuna? Well, that's really something then, isn't it?
I guess he must know a really good spot to find them at. He even promised to take me to his fishing spot at some point in the future, so we ended up exchanging contact information.
Oh, wow. Well, it sounds to me like you made friends with our neighbor quite quickly if he's already offering to show you his secret fishing spot. Just be careful. You shouldn't be rushing to go out into the wilderness with some stranger you've just met.
You really think I should be that worried about him? I mean, he didn't seem like a scary guy to me. He was really nice, and I think he was just looking for a good fishing buddy. I think that's why he invited me out with him.
Well, I'm really glad that you had a good conversation with him, Tony, but it's not like you can tell a person's intentions just by talking to them once. You really should be more careful about who you're giving out your personal information to, really.
Well, it's not like I gave him my social security number or the pin to my debit card or anything like that. I really think that you're making too big of a deal over this.
Look, Tony, I'm just saying this because you go away on business trips a lot, which means that I'm home by myself a good portion of the time. So if someone were to put on a good face and try and befriend you just to find out when you might or might not be at home, well, it just makes me a little nervous is all. I mean, I really have no idea the kinds of people out there, and neither do you.
Okay, Trish, I understand why me talking about our lives to other people might make you nervous. I promise to be careful and keep a respectable distance between me and our neighbor, okay? Hey Trish, I'm really sorry about this, but my office just told me that I'll have to leave on a business trip next week. I know it's sudden, and I'm really sorry, but I'm just hearing about this now myself.
That really is sudden, even for your office. Did they say how long you were going to be away?
They said I was going to be gone something like a week.
Oh man, that really is a long time. Do you have enough business clothes for a whole week's worth of business? Do I need to go out and buy you anything?
No, I think I should be alright as long as I do some laundry at the hotel I'll be staying at. I'll just bring enough clothes to get through this. We should be fine though.
Okay, well, just make sure that you give yourself enough time to make a list to write down everything that you need to pack. Then send it to me and I can help you find some of it.
I'll do that. Thanks a lot, Trish. I really appreciate you doing that. You're always there for me.
I think you're fine on underwear, but I was wondering if you thought you had enough undershirts to go under your button-ups. I don't mind going out and just getting you a 4-pack of white shirts or something like that. After all, I know the ones you have now are getting a little holey, no?
You really don't mind going out and getting me some new shirts while I'm here at work?
Of course not. It's not like I'm really doing much of anything at home. Maybe I should buy some new shoes, too. I don't want to say anything, but I thought they were looking quite scuffed when you went to work today.
Thank you so much for seeing all those little details that I'm just in too much of a hurry to see. I really appreciate it.
Of course. I'll get some things ready for your trip here before I go out and shop for you. I just know that if I leave everything to you, you'll forget something.
Well, I would be lying if I said that you didn't know me well, Trish.
I suppose that is why we're married to each other, right? But I guess that I know to do all this must mean that I'm getting used to all your business trips as well.
I know that I've already had about a dozen of them since we've gotten married. I'm sorry that I'm always on the road like this.
Oh, you don't have to worry about me, Tony. After all, it's your job asking you to do this, so you really don't have much choice. Besides, I think it's great that your job lets you travel so much. It's at least a silver lining for all the hard work you have to do.
Well, my boss was telling me that when he had to go on a bunch of trips back in his day, that his wife would always get so mad at him. So, I just wanted to make sure that you were okay with all the running around that I'm having to do.
I really am fine. Thank you so much for checking in with me, though. I do appreciate it.
You're really fine with all the business trips that I've had to go on?
Yes, of course, though I'm sure that your boss's wife was feeling lonely. I really don't get those kinds of feelings so easily.
Well, I'm just glad that you know how to keep yourself entertained while you're at home by yourself for so long.
Well, it's not that I don't also miss you while you're gone, you know. In fact, there are times that I get really bored while you're away, in fact.
Oh, really? Huh. I guess it just seemed like you always get a bit more chipper when you hear that I have to go.
Oh, do I? Well, I'm really sorry. It's not that I mean to be.
Especially packing my bag for me. You're always humming some song and have a smile on your face. Don't tell me that you actually like when I have to go away on business trips like this, because that might be going too far the other way.
Oh, come on, Tony, don't be ridiculous. I just like packing, that's all. There's just something about getting ready for a trip, even if it isn't mine, that makes me happy. But it's not like I'm happy because you're the one that's going to be going away.
You're right. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have asked that. That was silly of me. But I'll be sure to call you every night from the hotel. And hopefully this week will just fly by and we'll be back together again.
Okay then, I'll start packing and getting things ready for you from here, okay? Have a good rest of your day and I'll see you soon.
Hey there, Tony. It's Sam. We talked the other day. I'm the neighbor that likes fishing, remember? I have something that I wanted to talk to you about, but is now a good time to text? Oh, Sam. How's it going? It's been a while since we ran into each other, hasn't it? I'm really sorry that I haven't been better about reaching out since we exchanged numbers. No, that's fine. You don't have to apologize for that. Of course. But Do you think that I could talk to you about something? Yeah, of course. What's up? Is something on your mind? Well, this is just a little awkward to say, but last night you were making a lot of noise, and it really was kind of inconsiderate of your neighbors. Especially given that, well, your wife was being really loud about just exactly what kind of physical activities you two were engaging in. So, I really don't mean to be this guy, but I just thought that you should know I can hear everything from where my apartment is, so you just might want to try and keep things down a little next time, at least out of respect for your neighbors. Physical activities we were engaging in? Are you talking about sex? Well, that's what I assumed two adults making those kind of noises at night would be doing, since you've just gone out and said it. But I just wonder if you really had to be that loud. I mean, I get that the mood can really strike people sometimes, but it was the middle of the night when people are trying to sleep. All I could hear were the screams and moans from some lady down the hall, and now that it's the next day, I'm exhausted. But, wait a second. I'm on a business trip right now. Are you sure that you heard all of that coming from my apartment last night? Yes, I am more than sure. I could hear just about everything. There's not a doubt in my mind where it was coming from. But, I really don't understand. I've been out of town for a few days now, and my wife should be at home all by herself. I don't understand how there could be another man in the apartment. Well, I know what I heard. It's a very small chance that I'm wrong about it. I really do feel that. Besides, it's not often that someone makes that much noise when they're handling business on their own, as it were. But this... Oh my god. This can't be. Are you sure that the audio wasn't just coming from a video that might have been playing in my room or something? I mean, you're really sure that it was two real people in my apartment? Doing what you thought they were doing? How can I put this? I stood outside your door thinking about knocking, and while I was out there, I could feel the floor outside literally shaking in tune with the banging noises from the inside of your apartment. So, I don't know if you've got some really fancy surround sound system or something that's capable of doing that, but I didn't just hear it. I felt it. You mean that they were being that vigorous? Honestly, it wouldn't surprise me if they caused some structural damage to the walls. They were going so hard. But now that I've brought this up to you, I guess I should let you know that there have been many other times I've seen men who aren't you go into that apartment. Are you sure about that? You mean that this isn't the first time this has happened? I'm only telling you the things that I've seen. I'm not trying to make any claims. But, anyways, all this noise making has actually been going on for a few days. Do you remember exactly how many days? Has it been 4 days? It's not like I was counting before. But, now that you say 4 days, I think that sounds correct. You've got to be kidding me. I really just don't know what to say right now. Are you okay, Tony? I'm really sorry to be the one to have to break the news to you like this. I'm sure as her husband this comes as quite the shock. No, you shouldn't apologize. You haven't done anything wrong at all. But it's just, well, you're telling me that my wife has been seeing another man. Maybe other men behind my back. I wonder if the times this has happened before, you were also away on a business trip. But are you still going to finish your work out there? I suppose so. I only have a few days left out here anyways. And then what are you going to do when you come back here? If you'd like, I could record what I hear tonight and send it to you as proof. No, please don't do that. But if you really would like to help, there is something that you can do. Do you mind if I ask you a small favor? If there is anything that I can do to help you out, please, just let me know. Again, I'm sorry that you had to find out this way. This was not my intention at all. Thank you so much for saying that. But I think that I have a plan. I'll give you the details soon. Hey there, Trish. How's it going? I was just curious if you had finished with your part-time job for the day.
Oh, hey there, Tony. Yeah, I just finished up, and now I'm just talking to a couple of my coworkers here is all. What about you? Are you done with work for the day already?
Yeah. I actually managed to finish a little early, so I've been free for a minute here.
Oh, great. Well, then it sounds like you'll get to enjoy the rest of the evening relaxing then, right? You know that you don't have to talk to everyone, right? I'm sure that you must be tired and just want to rest, right?
Well, actually, there's something I want to talk to you about. That's why I'm messaging you in the first place.
There's something that you want to talk to me about? Well, what is it? What's on your mind?
Actually, the thing is that I got some really bad news from our neighbor. Do you know what I might be talking about?
I really have no idea what you're talking about. Did something happen to our neighbor?
Well, he told me the other day that he could hear loud sex noises coming from our apartment. He told me that it was during the middle of the night, too. Does that happen to ring any bells for you at all?
Wait a second. You mean that he could hear it all the way from where he lives? You've got to be kidding me.
He said that he could feel the whole apartment shaking when he went outside, thinking about knocking on our door.
Oh my gosh. This is really so embarrassing. I had no idea that he could hear us when we... Well, what on earth am I supposed to say to him the next time I see him in the hallway? Why did he have to come to you about that?
He came to me to talk about it because you were making so much noise and causing a huge disturbance. But you seem to be misunderstanding here. He wasn't talking about us having sex. You see, he texted me because he heard those noises coming from our apartment as recently as yesterday.
Wait a second. He thought that he could hear you and I have sex in our apartment last night?
Weird, isn't it? I almost didn't believe him. I mean, why on earth would it be sounding like you were having sex when I've been away on a business trip for the last few days? Just what have you been getting up to while I've been away from home? Huh? Have you been letting some man into our place?
Tony, please, you can't seriously be asking me that, right? Of course I haven't let anyone into our apartment. Maybe the noises were just coming from the apartment above him or something like that.
No. He was very thorough in double-checking that it was our apartment that had the sounds. He said that he could feel the whole wall shaking in time with... in the rhythm of... I can't even type it! But why were you going so hard? What's the matter with you?
What's the matter with me? I didn't even do anything, and our neighbor is just making up stories that aren't true.
Well, then, I guess we should ask around the building, shouldn't we? We should ask everyone if they were doing anything loud at night so we can track exactly where the noise was coming from.
Are you kidding me? Do you know just how embarrassing that would be for me? You can't just do that.
Well then, I can't think of how else we're going to get to the bottom of this mystery. But that being said, you should know that I'm on my way home today.
Wait a second. You're coming home today? Is it really already time for you to head back?
That's right. And more than that, I'm actually standing in front of our door right now.
But I don't get it. What about your business trip? I could have sworn that you said you'd be gone for longer.
Well, after explaining to my bosses about what was going on in my own home, they understood and let me go home early. So I caught the first flight home this morning and made my way home from the airport.
You are kidding me. Then, is this some kind of joke or something? Why are you coming home early from a business trip when you've never ever done that before?
Well, that would be because I hadn't heard of what was happening in our apartment while I was gone before now. But our neighbor was also telling me about how this isn't the first time he's seen men who aren't me going in and out of our place. He actually just texted me not that long ago saying that he saw another strange man. And yet, here I thought that you were at work. So tell me, who is in our apartment right now?
Wait a second, Tony, please, whatever you do, do not go inside our apartment right now.
And why shouldn't I do that, huh? Do you think someone is really in here? I guess I'll just have to find out, won't I?
Please, you can't. What if it's a robber or something? It could be really dangerous. Whatever you do, don't go in.
You think there's a robber in our apartment right now?
I don't know who is in our apartment, but you can't just go bursting in there. What if you get hurt?
You really care about hurting me when you've been letting guys take you into our bed in our apartment and do that with you?
I don't know. I don't know what's happening anymore.
Well, if it is a robber, then I don't think they're here for our valuables. Just my wife. Hey there, Trish. I just wanted to let you know that we caught the robber, so there's nothing to worry about now.
Tony, I thought I told you to not go in the house. I told you to wait until I got back there.
Oh, don't worry. We actually didn't need you. After the guy was caught, we questioned him about what he was doing, and he confessed to everything. The question is, will you?
Please, Tony, I really have no idea who that man is or what he said to you, but that's right. I mean to tell you that I felt like I was being stalked lately. That man must be my stalker. You can't believe whatever he says about me because he's obsessed.
Are you so sure about that? because he's telling a very different story about you.
I already told you that you can't believe a word that he says about me. Please, you have to believe me.
You know, if you had just been honest with me and admitted what you did, I might have forgiven you. But you're really just gonna throw this man under the bus just to cover your own skin?
You mean that you're really not going to trust a single word that I have to say to you?
How can I when this guy recorded more than enough evidence of your affair on his phone? Pictures of dates, pictures of outings. He even told me that you two went out together to buy the clothes that you were buying for me. Here, I thought you were just trying to be nice. But that was only a small part of the mall date that you were on with this guy.
No, wait, Tony, it really isn't like that at all. I was just really trying to shop for you, I swear.
I really don't care what excuses you have for me, so you can just save it.
But please, I can't lose you. I don't want you to leave me. I never wanted for any of this to happen.
You mean that you never wanted to get caught doing any of this? You've done nothing but lie to me this whole time, and now you're begging for me to stay? I'm just so disappointed in you right now. Do you know that?
Well, I'm sorry. I really am. I never meant for any of this to happen this way, Tony, but I can't lose you. Please don't leave me.
The last thing you're going to get from me is a letter from my lawyer explaining how I'm suing you and him for this affair.
You're not really going to sue me over a little fling like this, are you? You're going to leave and then walk away while I have nothing? How could you do this to me? I thought that you loved me.
I thought I loved you too, until I realized that it was all a lie. By the way, I've already told your parents about this.
You told my parents? Why would you do that? And just how much of it did you tell? Don't tell me you told them about our neighbor hearing me.
That's exactly what I told them about. And you should have seen their faces. They could hardly believe what they were hearing. I told them that I'd come back to them soon with proof of what I was talking about, though.
You're just horrible. You didn't have to do that, you know.
And you don't get to tell me how I should be handling this. You lied to me and manipulated me, and if it wasn't for the kindness of a stranger, then I would have never known about any of this. But I'm gonna bury you for this. After that, both our parents got together and voiced their support for our getting a divorce. After all, they had all the details and knew exactly what kind of a woman Trish really was. During the divorce proceedings, our parents were there as well, and I had never seen Trish's parents so upset. In the end, however, we did get divorced, and Trish and her other man both had to pay me for their affair after the lawsuit. Trish actually had to go deep into debt to pay all of her legal fees. The court worked out a deal between her and her parents to help her pay it all back, though. Trish agreed to go and work for a friend of her dad's at a job where she would be under strict supervision, but which would help her pay off her debt faster. As for me, I sincerely apologized to all of my neighbors before requesting the building to move me into a new unit, so I wouldn't have to sleep where Trish cheated on me. I'm doing my best to get over this, and Sam and I have plans to go fishing sometime next week. Thank you for watching. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to see more content like this.